Okay, can you hear me now? Betty?
I can hear you.
I can hear.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
now I can hear everybody.
All right. So let's start from here. Let me start again. First of all, let me thank you for coming tonight. I want to keep this under an hour. So let's try to do this in 45 minutes, although I welcome all of your questions. Thanks for coming to our first Huddle session. I'm Professor Monahan. If you ever have to call me, just think of that G in the middle of my name as silent. So it's Monahan, not Monaghan. I want to invite you to contact me, to call me, to text me, to email me whenever you have a problem. And please don't think that you're putting me out of my way. I do get paid for this, so don't worry about it. You're invited to call whenever there's an issue or something you want to talk about. I have very 12-hour contact between 9 and 9. Please don't call after 9. I tend to go to sleep early. I don't have that much of a life. So after 9, kind of save it for an email or call me in the morning. I want you to stay in touch. It's really important for students in COLL 148 especially to stay in touch and start building a community. And I see you're already doing that in the discussions because we have almost 60 posts and it's only Wednesday. That's an amazing number of posts. That's great. That means you guys are already engaged. You're talking and we're having real conversation in there. You'll notice I'm in there every single day. The only day I'm not in there is probably on a Saturday, but I come back on a Sunday. But during the week, you'll see me in there all the time. I'm very active, and I participate a lot in the discussions. So if you haven't already begun, please get in there as soon as you can. Now, I know as a student, especially an online student, all of this can be very overwhelming. The screen we're looking at right now has a lot of information on it. So where do we start? I was an online student at DeVry, and yeah, I'll give it to you. I was also teaching there at the time, so I kind of knew the ins and outs. But the very first thing I always read in the morning were the announcements. So I would start here, because there were always new announcements coming out. In fact, after week 1, if you're wondering, where are my grades? Are my grades posted yet? You don't have to wait. As soon as the grades are done, I will put an announcement up that your grades are there. And when you go into your grades, whether it's a discussion or an assignment, you're going to get a lot of feedback from me on what you're doing right and where you need improvements. So we're good in that sense. One of the biggest questions I get is, how do I get full credit in these discussion boards? So one of the most important announcements to look at is right down here towards the end, how I grade your discussions. And don't laugh. Some people don't know that you have to click on this in order to open the announcement itself. And this will tell you how many times you have to post and what a high quality is as opposed to like a mid or low quality post. And all of that will be explained in your feedback from me during the first week. So what are we looking for in terms of discussions? We're looking that you posted by Wednesday, that you posted 3 different times during the week on 3 different days. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever it is. You work out the schedule, but the minimum is 3 times 3 different days of the week. And you're always aiming for high quality. Does high quality mean the more words, the better? Usually, the more wordy it is, the more comprehensive your discussion is. And from what I'm seeing in the discussions this week, if you haven't posted yet and you start taking a look at it, there's really sophisticated, comprehensive, thoughtful posts in there by students. And I'm having a good time going in there and talking to all of you. So this is a great way to feel like you're part of the community, is to get into those discussions as often as you can. Now, your next question might be, well, where are the discussions? And I've had students ask me this week. I don't know how to get to the discussion board. And that's perfectly understandable. Everything related to the course, to the weekly course material, is going to be in your modules, right? So here's your book. If you haven't found that yet, you're going to click on that. I can't do that from student view because it won't let me. It doesn't recognize me as a user. But your book is right here, the Career Fitness Program. And then here's your weekly lessons. You have your module, your introduction, your lesson. This is the introductory discussion board. So this is where you're going in and you're introducing yourself, and you might be making conversations with other students, and that's fine. I'm responding to all of you with a voice response so that you can hear me. You know I'm a live person, and we're connecting here in the discussions. This one is not graded. Okay, so do you have to post there? Well, yeah, you have to post there, but it's not going to reflect on your grade if you don't. Do you have to talk to other students in here? It would be nice, but it's not going to affect your grade if you don't, because this is an ungraded discussion. I hear somebody kind of on unmute, and I'm wondering if there are any questions.
Not so far.
Great, thank you. Okay, so then where's your graded discussion? Well, this one right here, assessing and evaluating your skills, and you can see that it's due by the 15th, and it's worth 30 points. So clicking on this, I told you I'm seeing these really great in-depth responses, and this is Nisha's, looks beautiful, and Alexis, same thing, and you'll see that my responses to you are in yellow boxes, so you kind of can see where I'm at. Now, let's say you come in and you do your discussions Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Does that mean you're done? Are you done for the week? Well, yeah, you posted on 3 different days. You posted by Wednesday. You don't ever have to come back to the discussion. But would I suggest you do that? No. What I would suggest is at least go back to the discussion and look for what I call follow-up discussion. So either I'm talking to you, this one is for Quincy. I had some questions for him. Or if you look down towards the bottom, I'll address the whole class. And I'll say, hey, let's take the discussion in a different direction. So let me get down here. That's not it. We're getting there. Cassie even got a video from me. Betty's got some questions from me. But here's one, okay? So this is my second one of the week, and it says class. Many of you talk about the importance of family, but what role does your family play in all this? And then I give you Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So we're taking it. Now, students say, do I have to answer that? You don't have to. But it gives you another avenue to have a discussion. So there are some students that like to talk to each other, and there are some students that really prefer to answer questions, that I give. So that's up to you. When I go to grade your discussions, I'm looking for 3 thoughtful responses to students or responses to me or a combination of both. And that's going to count towards those 30 points. Anything I ask is going to drive you to a very high-level response because my questions are a little bit more detailed. You'll find in online classes that sometimes students will say, Betty, that was a very nice post. I agree with you. Well, what is Betty supposed to do with that? That doesn't really drive the conversation forward. She likes that somebody likes her post, but, how does she get her next post in? So that's why I throw in throughout the week some different things for you to do that are related to the topic that will increase your understanding of it and also lead you to another post or a response or something of that nature. So does anyone have questions right now about the discussions?
Not yet, no.
At this time.
Good. So we're all feeling good about that. That's awesome. Okay, so if we go back to modules, now I had a great many questions on, wow, what is this skills self-assessment assignment? What am I supposed to be doing with this? So you're going to click on this in order to download the material that you need. And when it opens up, it's going to look like this. So let me ask Quincy, can you see my screen right now, an Excel spreadsheet?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
And now it will tell you right here, what am I supposed to do with this Excel spreadsheet? And it says, type your name in the highlighted cell to the left. Okay, easy enough. It says name, right? Read each of the skills below, and then in column E, rate each skill in terms of your skill level. 1 is not skilled, 5 is highly skilled. So if I make this a little smaller, you'll see where you're going to be doing that. Okay? So is that it? Then it says, look at number 5, because this is really important. In a separate Microsoft Word document, explain the skills you regard as your strengths and those you regard as needing improvement in 2 to 3 paragraphs. Okay? So you're really doing 2 things. You're going to attach this sheet and then attach a Microsoft Word document. If you wanted to, could you just add the Microsoft, that paragraph down in here? You could, if you wanted to, but I would say alert me in your comments when you upload. There's room for comments. Let me know that, you've put all of this in one document. That would be fine. Any questions on this?
No.
You can attach, because I had to call in last night to kind of get help with that, and you can attach both documents into one, right? You can attach one and attach a separate file, and they both come together, right? Well, without replacing one file, if you kind of understand what I'm saying, I guess.
Yeah, well, you can import a Word document into Excel and an Excel document into Word.
Okay.
Or the easier way for those people who aren't tech savvy and don't want to fool with that, you could just do 2. Finish this one, upload it, and then do a Microsoft Word and upload it with it.
That's what I did. Okay, cool.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I did, and in week 1, am I going to sit there and nail you and say, Quincy, I'm giving you a 0 because you forgot to do your paragraphs? No, I'm going to go back and go, Quincy, I think maybe you made a mistake. I've given you half credit so far. Can you take a couple of days and finish that paragraph?
Okay.
For me, because I don't want to start people off with a 0.
Right.
Especially when you're brand new. So, and that brings up another question, another thing I want to go over with the class and explain it to you. And if everybody would just mute, I think, okay, good. I give everybody at some point in time needs an extension. Normally, in the course of 8 weeks, something comes up and you can't do everything. I can't give you an extension on discussion boards because you understand those discussions are time related. It's something that's happening live that we're all engaging in. But sometimes you need a little extra time with your assignment. Do me a favor. Let me know at least 24 hours in advance. Hey, can I get an extension? I know I'm not going to get this done, or God forbid, I had a family member in the hospital, or I was ill this week with the flu. Can I just have a little more time with this? I'll give you 3 days. Okay, that's fine. Just one time during the 8 weeks, not 5 times during the 8 weeks, or you wake up in week 4 and you go, wow, I haven't done anything for this class. Can I redo everything? Because I'm on a schedule too. And so we're being mindful of your schedules, and I'm trying to be mindful of my own schedule. I have a lot of classes to teach. I have a lot of grading to do, and I make time to grade your things and get you back your work in a thoughtful, reasonable time frame so that you grow from it. It's understandable to have one extension. It gets less understandable when it turns out to be 2, 3, 4 extensions that you need. Then we have a problem. We've got to communicate. We've got to find out what's happening and how we can make that better. So, again, we're not out to kill anybody here with the amount of work you're doing. I know you're busy, but you've got to work on your time management for this and make sure you get things in by Sunday, by midnight Mountain Time. And for those of you on the East Coast, it's even better because you get 2 hours later to submit things. So, any questions so far with anything?
Not right now.
Great. I've never looked at grades from the student view. Let me see what happens if I do. It doesn't really tell me anything, but so if I were to look at my grades right now and I were you, I would see here what I'm being graded on in week 1, what I'm being graded on in week 2. Here's what I used to do, just a little tip when I was a student. I'd print this out And every time I finished something, I knew like, oh yeah, I finished this assignment on assessing and evaluating my skills. I would just color code it, just highlight it so I knew it was done. When I took the skills self-assessment, I'd highlight it. This way I knew I completed those things for week 1. Now in week 2, you have 3 things you're being graded on, right? You've got a quiz here, you've got a time management assignment, another time management assignment. So one's a written, one's a quiz, and this is a discussion board. Just let you know in terms of time management, how much time do I have to set aside to do this? As far as quizzes go, keep getting in those discussions, because here and there I'll try to direct you. I'll try to talk to you about things that could be on the quiz. And the quizzes are totally open. I mean, you can go back and look at your notes. So what I used to do when I took a quiz is I'd open 2 tabs at the top. So I could be looking at my coursework and taking the quiz at the same time. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Awesome. There's, if you haven't had time to look at the syllabus, I don't know about you, but the first thing I looked at in the syllabus, I would I didn't even look at the who cares about the person? All right, there's my book. That's great. I would go all the way down to this part. This is a really important part to me. It's how am I going to get graded in this class? What is each thing worth? And this will tell you your discussions are worth 21% of the course. The quizzes are 18%. Your self-assessment's 4%. So they're even breaking down the individual assignments and telling you how much of the assignment, how much each assignment is worth. Okay, and this will give you your total points based on 100. And if you're brand new to DeVry, and most of you are, here's your letter grades. We don't have pluses and minuses, so here's where you have to fall in terms of the percentages in order to get an A through an F. I don't think anybody wants this F. So all things you should look at, and they don't need to be looked at right away. You can, announcements are really the only thing. And on a Sunday when these courses open, because the 1 week will end on a Sunday, and the next week opens on Sunday. So, try to have your work finished, completed. Aim for Saturday night if you can, so that on Sunday you're starting the week new. You're starting week 2, and you get into it and glance at it and see what has to be done and see what you need to do in terms of time. Because I know a lot of you are working, you have families, some of you are working more than one job, and you're going to school, and you have other classes. So you have to, keep in mind how to weigh that time. I want to make a distinction between our live lesson and the one that happens on Monday. The one on Monday is recorded, and I will always post that for you. It's given by various people through the college. The one on Wednesday that we're having right now is just for our class. It's just us. So I got another email from a student today that said, will this impact my grade if I'm only watching the recordings? It absolutely will not. It has no bearing on your grade. It is recommended that you watch the recordings at least, but it will not impact your grade. What it does for you, however, is I can see who logged into this course, into this live session, and you only have to post twice for the week. So instead of posting 3 times a week, you only have to post 2 times a week, which is nice because some people don't like to post. So that's what you get for attending this session.
Cool.
Yeah. So is there anything else? By the way, somebody logged in and I didn't see their name. It's kind of like a number, like user, person, but it doesn't say a name there. If that's you, you may want to drop me an email, and now probably the whole class will write to me, and tell me that it was you who logged in. I'm done. So are there any questions at all, anything you're thinking about that you want to ask me? I'm open to answering anything. Great. So I'm going to let you go to enjoy your night. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep interacting with me. Keep interacting with the material in the class. Keep the discussions going. And let's make this A really fantastic.
I do have one question, just to make sure and verify. So I have to go into, of course, I have to respond, in addition to posting 3 times a week or twice if I attend this, I have to respond to 3 separate posts, right, as well? So it's 3 and 3 basically?
No.
Oh, I know. Okay.
No. You can post to the initial question, right?
Right.
And then after that, that's up to you. You could respond to a peer, respond to me, or remember that pyramid I had posted in the new question? Yeah, so if you posted to the initial question and posted to that, and they were both high quality, then you're done.
Okay, cool. Okay, just wanted
Anything you do after that is you doing it because you want to get involved. It's, but that could be little things like, I just want to make this person feel good. I read her post and I just want to tell her she did a good job. That's great too.
All right, sounds good. Cool. That was my only question.
Yeah. Well, it was great having you. I hope you show up next week. We'll cover another topic then, and we'll do this again. So I look forward to meeting more of you next week, and thanks for coming tonight. Have a great night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You're very welcome.